Never let Dad outdo you. No matter what it is, if he wins a state championship, you got to win too. So you was able to outdo Dad by one. So, sir, if you would, tell us who you are.
My name's Brad Hitchings from Louisville, Kentucky. I went to Trinity High School.
Of course, you're a two-time state champion, 2009 and 2010. Your dad, Mark Hitchings, he's prominent in the state of Kentucky in wrestling. 1981 state champion at Fern Creek. And if the backdrop looks familiar, it's because we're back at your dad's house, back in this, man cave. I don't know what you'd call it, but it's awesome down here. I'm looking at
a pool room. Yep,
pool room. I think we may have some beverages here behind us. It's pouring the rain today, so if you hear a little bit of rain, it's the Hurricane Helena, I believe, is coming through. Able to get this lined up today, come down here and do it. So, standard question we start everybody off with, because it's such a good question that we get so many different responses, is how do you get into wrestling, man? How do you find it?
Yeah, so that started at a very young age. Dad obviously talked about his experience. We never got to see his videos. Unfortunately, he didn't have those until later in life. But he got us started young. We started wrestling in the living room, doing basic barrel rolls, fireman carries. Eventually, Dad said, "Hey, I want to get you guys into a program." And so we started going to a few different wrestling rooms. Testing a few places out. At the time, Fern Creek, the youth program, did not exist, and that is something Dad wanted to create. Dad put the youth program together, invested a lot of time doing that, and that is where our career started.
And about what age do you think you were close?
Yeah, I started in the 3rd grade, so what is that, 8, 9, something like that, yeah.
And the Fern Creek youth program, there's been a lot of people come through there that may have started in the Fern Creek just because it may have been one of the only youth programs close, and they've went different places in life. Sometimes that's the way it goes, but the Fern Creek program, man, those roots run deep. Now, you go to Trinity, I believe in 2007, as a freshman, 152 pounds, you come in 3rd place. The team, Trinity team, comes in 7th that year. So, 3rd place as a freshman, can't really say too much. You're on the podium, there's 2 more spots to go. So you have to be happy with that outcome, correct?
Absolutely. Not the expectation freshman year, especially with my bracket. It was a loaded weight class. Mitch Irvin, Pat Banks, Blake Sheehan. It was a loaded weight class. So very happy with 3rd place.
2008. Of course, you guys are going to see not the full match, but as we're talking, you're going to see some highlights from that match. 171 pounds as a sophomore. You run into Mason Reed from Rowell. Mason wins an 11-5 decision on you. You are in the finals at the dungeon under the lights. Pretty cool experience.
Yep.
If you never got to go to the dungeon, every video that we have with somebody from the dungeon, I always say how awesome it was. Just the experience, the environment, everything about it was just incredible. When you win that semifinals in 08 and you're in the finals, are the nerves setting in? It's like, oh my, I'm here, I'm happy I'm here, oh my gosh, I'm going to be under the lights. I mean, what's it go for you? How's it go?
I was definitely happy I was there. I wrestled Mason earlier in the season, and he pinned me within I think the first minute of the match. So I knew I had my hands full going into the finals. Very happy to be there. We trained hard through the season to get to that point. But like I said, I knew I was going to have my hands full with Mason. So,
like I said, man, the 11-5 decision, no shame in that. You moved up a spot on the podium, 3rd to 2nd, and there's only one more place to go. Man, you was able to get on that number 1 spot twice. So coming into that 09 season, Did you play football at Trinity, or was this wrestling specific? Or
I played football freshman year, and then I quit after freshman year to wrestle full time.
Okay, well, the reason I was going to try to lead into that is when you guys start practice on October 15th or whatever the date was close to that start, you look around the room and you're like, oh my God, there's John Fahey, there's Myron Bradbury, there's Grant Ullman, I've got myself. We've got something here this year. Was that the mentality, or was it just it kind of picked up through the year? How did it go?
Well, you gotta remember, I wrestled with these guys since basically the third, fourth, fifth grade. John, Grant, Aaron McCauley, my brother. These were guys that I've been with throughout my entire wrestling career. So yeah, we knew what we were building up to be. We knew what we were kind of putting together there.
Bracket for 2009, 171 pounds, pretty tough. A lot of names that you guys are going to recognize. Start off with a 45-second fall over Cody Kitchen from Danville. You go on to the second round. You're wrestling Taylor, I believe it's Minard. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
From Oldham County. You
Yep.
win that by a fall, 3 minutes, 10 seconds.
Yep.
Then you run into Brandon Barnett, who was, you guys have saw on the channel, 2010 state champion. You win that by a fall, 4 minutes, 41 seconds. Brandon goes on to get fourth place, and then 2011 he was runner-up that year. So pretty tough there in the quarters. You get to the semis. You're wrestling Marcel Haynes from North Hardin. You win that by a 7-2. Marcel goes on to get third. And I'd have to imagine North Hardin being close. You wrestled him a few times as well, correct?
I think I did. I was trying to remember back. I don't remember much about Marcel, but I do know he gave me a very tough match in the semis. I had my hands full there, and there was points in the match that I was certainly getting a little worried. So
I get it. And when I got to officiate the 2020 state tournament for the first time, the senior refs, your Catans, your Rockies, Andrews, Jason Storth, all those guys, they come to me and they were like, your quarters and your semis are going to be your hardest bouts.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be daggone if they weren't right. And some of the semis and quarters that we've done just on the channel, guys like, man, my quarters was a whole lot harder than my finals match or my semis. It should have been us in the finals. The bracket, come out crazy or whatever. So sometimes, man, those quarters and they some wrestling. They some wrestling going on in those quarters and semis.
Yeah, it's not like the rest of the season when you're maybe walking your way into the finals,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have a tough match. You're definitely prepared to go to battle in those semi matches.
Absolutely. You get the opportunity to exact a little bit of revenge on Ryle. You're wrestling Will Hogben,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not going to tell you the score. We have the match video and a little bit of the medal ceremony. Had you wrestled Will before this?
I don't think so. I was trying to remember back. I don't think me and Will had met up to that point. No, we had not met up to that point. So kind of going into that match a little blind. I think I scouted him a little bit throughout the state tournament. But other than that, no, I had not met up with Will at that point.
And, Ryle right there in Boone County, close to Cincinnati. They're all the time in Ohio, Indiana wrestling. Of course, I know Trinity goes up that to northern schools as well. But when you're that close to Cincinnati, Ohio area, you can make the jaunt across the river there and be there in no time. And you see that in a lot of their wrestling. They wrestle a different style in northern Kentucky
Mm-hmm.
than you normally would see in Kentucky. And doing this series, getting to referee all these years, having the videos, you can see certain pockets of the state wrestle a certain way.
Sure.
And you can see the teams that are ahead of the curve on some things. You can see teams that have found a few things that work, and they're going to ride them until they can't ride them no more. I mean, they're going to ride that horse till it dies.
Absolutely.
And then they're going to make a statue and try to ride it because it works. The way they teach it works. They don't teach a lot of flashy moves. They don't, go to these camps. They know 5, 6, 7 moves, and they're hammers at them.
Drill the basics.
Just drill. So when you were scouting Will, did you say, okay, I know I need to stay away from this, or I know I can score from here, or I better not get caught on the bottom, or?
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, you know, watching Will come up through, I knew that if I stuck to my game plan, did the things that always worked for me, I think it was going to work there as well. Like I said, I didn't have a lot of experience with him, so you know, as you'll see in my tape, I stuck to what I knew, and it paid off for me.
And being this your second time under the lights, you had to have a little bit more confidence going in. It wasn't, I'm sure you were still probably excited, a little bit nervous, but the first time, even for fans that come, you know, the lights come down, the glow sticks, people throwing footballs, beach. I posted a photo of you, your brother and your dad from, I believe, 2011. Just, I mean, it was crazy. It was awesome.
The best environment.
And it will never be replicated. I wish we could do more at the horse park. I wish we could turn some lights out, do some little bit darker of an arena, give it that feel.
Yep.
But if you got to go from 96 to 2011, you really got to experience something. So you're backstage there behind like the head score table.
Yep.
During the face-off. What's the Are we bouncing? Are we just kind of chill? What are we doing?
Yeah, no, we're definitely bouncing around, drilling some moves, rolling with Grant Ullman. You know, he was my wrestling partner, so
No, I'm kidding. Grant.
So yeah, you know, Grant would always help me get warmed up, and he would always get in my ear and really kind of get me fired up for the match. So definitely the nerves were there. I always was nervous going into big matches like that, but you know, I was excited. It's like I told you before we started the video. My junior year was really when I was firing on all cylinders. Things were really taking off for me. So I was excited to get out there and get my championship.
And I do want to correct something. I do have the 09 roster. Of course, you had Fahey in the finals. You had Bradbury in the finals. Grant comes in second. There was, let's see, Fahey was first. Myron was first. Your brother was eighth. Sean Gillespie was seventh. Brandon Burke was there at 130, didn't place. Matt Matheny at 135. Grant Ullman at 145 second. Aaron McCauley at 152. Cooper is at Bond. Cooper Bond at 160. Of course, you at 171. Josh Lewis at 189 come in third. Brock Messina at sixth. And then Jordan Whiting at third. So you had 4 in the finals, 2 lightweights. And then, of course, you and Myron. You and Grant there in the final. So it's kind of cool to have, 3 of your buddies, man, back there with you. It's not that, it's you against the world. There's 4 of us. Let's go, fellas. What are we doing?
We were loaded up, and having 3 in the finals, 3 of your buddies hyping each other up. We were all there for each other, and it was an amazing experience. So.
All right, man. We've talked enough about it. We're going to get the TV set. We'll see you guys in Frankfurt in 2009.
The winners in one-round weight class from Trinity, a junior, with a record of 37-2, ranked number 1 in the state, Fern Hitchings. From Rye, a senior, with a record of 48-5, ranked number 2 in the state, Will Austin.
So you guys are seeing what we're seeing. We're at the dungeon. You're on the line here. I believe, are you on, which side are we on here? Are you on the left or the right?
I'm on the left.
So you have on the red ankle band?
I've got, no, I'm on.
Oh, okay, my bad.
No, you're good, left.
Oh, okay, so you're on, and of course both singlets are white, as you guys can see. Who's in your corner? Is it your dad and Coach Brown, or?
Dad and Coach Brown, yep.
Okay, that's what I thought. So here we go. All right, so from neutral here, man, what's your go-to takedowns? What are we looking to do?
Go-to was always low singles, single legs, low singles, duck unders. You'll see, I always shot far out, so I mean that I should have closed the gap there. But so there's single leg,
there it
tied
is.
over it.
You get 2, go out.
He's back.
Get a 1 count. But I think you got Jeremy Callan and Rocky, I believe, as your referees out there.
Yeah, that looks right. So working ball and chain, tilts. There you go.
There it is. 1, 2. So you get a 2 count there.
Yep. Always used a mixed bag. Always legs in, boots in.
I was gonna say you're probably what, about 6'1"?
6'1", 6'2",
I
yeah.
was gonna say you're a pretty tall guy, so those legs, especially at
Legs
this weight,
were,
man.
you know, I put my boots in almost every match. Work a power half. Yeah, that was my go-to on top.
And you have had control pretty much the entire match so far.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've had to turn the volume down substantially so we could even talk. Do you remember it being just like crazy loud in there? Was it zoned out or?
Oh, there was a mistake.
I'm say
Got
gets
a
that
little-
reversal and
Got a little sloppy there. Yeah, no, I remember it being loud. Obviously, you're kind of focused on the match and you're in the moment, but I remember it being loud. Someone's in the way. There's a single leg. I'd always tuck between my legs to get the takedown.
yeah.
I think that came pretty easy right there.
Now, I got this DVD from you to convert it. Do you remember who's filming this?
I don't. We had a manager on the team that filmed.
That's into the first period.
Into the first, with the exception of the
And
giving up reversal.
So you look up at your corner. They
Take
say
top.
top. I guess they had to see what you were doing on top and say, hey,
You know, I'm riding well here, so why not keep
Yeah.
it going? I'm tilting, getting back points, running the ball and chain, wing.
I'm gonna have to do some research, but I would say
Oh.
there might be a few more, but I think the Trinity with Coach Brown and your dad, I believe that's very few corners have had two different state champions from two different schools in the corner at the same time.
Oh, really?
I'd have to
Okay.
do some digging, but I think that's a very small number.
Yeah.
You're working here. You're trying for that power half again.
Just trying to get quick back points. You know,
Yeah.
I was always good at getting a 2 count, 3 count, get your 2 points, rolling back over, work your next either tilt or see if you can get the half and get a couple extra quick points. Again, here very close, just can't get in position where I can firmly keep him on his back.
And
Always rode high.
And I guess it's just you keeping the pressure on him, but he's not really done anything offensively.
No.
You
He's a
look up-
tough rider. I was
Yeah.
a tough rider.
You look up there at Jeremy. I'm not sure if it was maybe stolen or what, but
Well, when you ride legs, you got to make sure you keep the activity up. As a ref, you probably know people love to ride legs and not do a lot of activity. So I'd always switch between tilts, getting my leg in and out, run a wing, just to keep the activity moving.
Yeah.
And like I said, get those quick 2-3 count 2-point back points.
so that's the end of the second period, and I've lost track of the score. But you're up.
Yeah.
His choice. He takes neutral, which is probably smart because you don't want to go down the whole second period of getting
Right in on the low single. Come around the side there. Let's see what I do. I never minded a good scramble,
Yep.
and there you go.
And this was actually before the era of when scrambling was prevalent like it is now.
Yeah.
So anybody that was able to scramble, you're like, whoa.
It's, when you get on a low single, you don't always have the best position. So like I said, being in a scramble never worried me too much.
Spoken like a true coach there, guys. You're getting some near fall
Keep
there.
him there. He's good at getting off his back.
Ooh, yep.
Good at
I
getting
thought
off his
Jeremy
back.
gave you a count there, but. And I believe, I could be mistaken, but I think Ron Coleman posted after Fahey's win.
Standing tilt. Do I get it? Oh, no points. Nah.
That after Fahey won in the finals, that Trinity had locked the team title up. So that's got to be
Yes.
a good feeling going out.
We had that. We were super excited about that, having that locked up going into some of those later matches.
Yeah.
Tight half. Rolling through.
Yep, roll through
Rolling
again.
through.
Give him credit, man. He's been able to.
I just couldn't stop that other arm from coming all the way through.
It seems like you have wrestled your match the entire. You've not like tried anything crazy. You knew what you were good at.
No,
and let's go with it.
And that's what I was saying. These were my go-tos. Get the legs in, run a power half. I'd usually be able to stop people on their back, run a surfboard here.
Yeah. And that's it,
boom.
Man. You win by a final score 8-1.
Great feeling.
Individual state champion and team champion in the same year, man. It's got to be.
That was an amazing, amazing moment.
And here's a little bit of the medal ceremony. And let's see, which one is it? Right here. What? Previous Commissioner Bridget DeVries there.
Mm-hmm. The dungeon.
Yeah, man, it was a special place,
can't
man.
Replace it.
And that's where this one ends. And you guys will see a photo of this, but this is the plaque that you're given, and it's cool that they done the paper brackets, the medal, and the plaque, because you're not always going to wear your medal around your neck and be like, oh, I'm a state champion. No, but you can hang this up I think it's here at your dad's house. I believe you guys call it the Wall of Fame in there, and it's cool that you and your brother both have that. So watching it back, does it play out the way you remember it?
It does. I remember it being, I handled the match fairly easy. Like you said, I stuck to what I knew. It worked out the way I planned. So that was great to see again.
We're going to wrap this one up here because you're a 2-time state champion, and we have your 2010 video as well. So you've said off camera, it's been a while since you've seen your 2010 video. So I'm excited to get this one pulled up for you and watch it. So thank you all for watching. We'll see you guys and girls in 2010.
Thank you.